something.
It took a minute.
It's been a process.
I'm bad luck.
No, you're
No.
not.
We were all just running late.
I had Pilates until 9, and then I also had to run back to work to grab the phone.
And I woke up at 9. Oh shit.
My God.
It's the rebel.
So I forgot I put Red Bull in here because, or like my drinky drink because.
They like contraband our drinks today into the library.
Yeah.
You gotta hide that shit.
I had mine in my purse. I like held it in there.
I don't think that man's gonna snitch on us.
No, I don't. I mean,
No.
anybody from the library could just walk by. So.
Okay, mind your business.
Literally.
Anyways.
There's also a camera right there.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, cry about a smoothie. It's fine.
I have a Red Bull, so it's
Do
okay.
they want me to pass out in their
Right.
recording studio? No.
Okay, what are we talking about?
Well, I mean, hi.
Hi.
Hello.
How's everybody's week?
Well, mine was good, but I had to get like 1,000,000 stitches, and then they broke, and then I had to get more stitches, and then I couldn't do Pilates today, so.
For what?
Because I had this thing like on my back that they wanted to like cut out and test for cancer. But I think it's
That's
fine.
very.
Oh, that's.
I didn't know about that.
Oh, that's not.
Oh, that's not.
That's not.
I was very sick, and I'm feeling so much better.
Me
Thank God.
Yeah.
Same. I was so sick. When I tell you, okay, I don't even know how. I assume, and I think, like we both discovered that the majority of our symptoms was because of the MMR vaccine that we got.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't realize that you got those symptoms a week after you had the vaccine.
Yeah.
So Saturday night, we both started feeling like shit, and then when I tell you, I think I sneezed 50 times in a row.
Oh,
No, I feel.
Like it didn't stop. It wouldn't stop. And it was pissing me off. And then all of a sudden I couldn't breathe. Like my sinuses were all fucking congested. And then Sunday I started to get a migraine that I had never experienced because my like eyes were sensitive to the light. And then Monday when I went to work, it wasn't any better, and then it started getting worse, and I like my eyes hurt so bad in my head, and I just felt very out of it, and I was like honestly scared to drive home.
Okay, so
No, I feel that.
obviously the whole point of the vaccine is to not get sick, but why does it make you sick?
Because you're getting injected with the virus,
Mm-hmm.
and it builds your immune system so that when the virus comes around to you, you won't get sick.
Won't get it.
Yeah. So you'll get, basically you're getting a mild version of the virus.
Okay,
So-
that makes sense.
Yeah.
I haven't gotten any of like my normal vaccines since I was like a kid.
Yeah. See, we didn't get vaccinated when we were a kid, and my coworker was like talking to me about it, and I told her about like what it did to me, and she was like, "What, did you not get the mumps measles vaccine when you were a kid?" And I was like, "No, I
Nope.
didn't get anything."
Have you ever
So-
had chickenpox?
Yep.
Yeah, I got chickenpox when I
never
was
had chickenpox.
14.
That's the thing. A lot of people that I know have never had chickenpox
Which
because they got
means
the vaccines.
But you still could get it. But
Yeah.
if you have the vaccine, it's highly.
Well, I hear when you're an adult and you get chickenpox,
It's
like hell on
worse.
earth.
Yeah.
I got it when I was 14, and it sucked.
We got it at the same time. You, me, and Connor. Because Connor got it.
Connor got
They
it.
gave it to us.
No,
Yeah.
Yeah,
I couldn't handle it.
it was rough.
I remember I was telling Evan this the other day. I was like, I remember when I got the chickenpox, and I like woke up because mine were bad. Like mine were like almost just like a red splotch all over my skin, and like I woke Mom up because I was like, I really need like an oatmeal bath. I'm itching so bad, and she was like, run it yourself. And so I did. Like I dumped oatmeal in the bath. And then she like went in there and got pissed because I just like dumped it in instead of putting it in like a sock or a pantyhose or something.
I thought you were supposed to put it in the bath. Like, just
Yeah,
dump it.
isn't that what it is? A pantyhose?
Pantyhose.
Yeah, but like one,
But one single one.
but
is a
one single one is a
pantyhose.
pantyhose.
I don't think it is. I think it's just pantyhose. Like
Whatever.
that's what they're called.
Regardless.
No, they're called pantyhose.
Yeah, they are, but it's like the one if
But
you
I
just
think
put it
your
in.
one is a pantyhose.
But it's a hose. I don't think it's a hoe. I don't think it's HOES. I think it's HOSE.
Grammar police.
No, I just thought,
You knew what I was speaking about.
I did, but I just thought pantyhose was a really funny word.
It is.
She's a pantyhose.
For me though,
God.
I'm pretty sure my coworker got me sick. Well, my team lead. And so like I called out Thursday and then I go into work yesterday because I'm feeling like better. And she comes up to me and she's like, "Are you okay?" She got me sick, first of all. And I'm like, oh, I was like, I don't know. I feel like I was like explaining like how I was feeling. And I was like, I'm just trying to like stay away from people so I don't like get them sick or something. She steps back.
Oh my God.
And then she's like, oh yeah, I was feeling the same way a few days ago. And I was like, interesting. I wonder why.
Interesting.
I'm sure sickness spreads like wildfire there. That's how my work is because there's only 6 of us.
Yeah.
If one person gets sick, we're all going down.
Somebody in my office had been sick the week before, so I think she gave it to me as well. Because I did have symptoms from the vaccine, but I also think I
you were also just sick, yeah.
But I also got 4 vaccines at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Because I just wanted to get them over with.
Yeah.
And Joe was like, you're going to have a rough weekend. And then I did. And then I was like, it wasn't that bad, though. And then this past weekend, I was like, oh.
Mm-hmm. Like, there it is.
Well, damn.
Yeah.
But you know what? You're protected now.
Yeah. I'm protected. I'm protected from Tdap, from COVID, flu, mumps, measles, rubella, and whatever the fuck else is in Tdap.
Period.
Tdap. Well, that one, because it's like tetanus, whooping cough.
Cough.
I know, I heard that. Something else. So yeah, so we're good. You look so aesthetically pleasing in that clip in your video right now.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And I can't find like the right like way to sit. You know?
Yeah, I know. Well, sometimes I like play back these videos and like I'm editing them and I'm like, God.
No, Sam.
Because Maddy always looks like pretty and like young because she is, and then like
I'm pushing 30.
Oh, same, but. And then I have like a double chin and everything, and I'm like, God, why can't I just fix that?
Well, that's so funny because I just noticed when I lauged, like I gave myself a double chin.
I don't even want to
Me
hear
too.
it from you. No, I don't even want to hear it from you because her. It's like chiseled. Like her entire face is like chiseled.
Perfect.
And you're turning 24 soon. How
I
excited
know.
are
you? Here's the thing. I don't like getting older. I mean, I say that as a younger person. I don't like getting older, but I'm actually really excited about this birthday. Because
celebrate the fuck out of
because I've never my last birthday. I cannot remember the last birthday I had where I didn't cry.
Oh.
Yeah.
I hope you cry on this birthday, but yours are
But yeah. No, I was alone in the apartment last time because was at work.
Yeah.
The year before that, I was alone. I don't even remember the year before that. I don't even know.
Was it a birthday when we were all out? And it was like right after. It wasn't long after the whole thing with my brother-in-law.
Mm.
That was a birthday, and I want to say we were
it was Breeze. It was Breeze because
it was cold out.
Yeah,
I remember you had a green coat on, and I had a sock
and it
in my
was after
pocket.
it was in February, but it was
February 18th when you did it.
It was a late birthday thing for Bree because I was in Georgia.
That's right.
During her birthday.
Yeah.
And then
that's crazy.
I know. Isn't it?
And look how
I was just there.
Yeah.
Look how the tables have turned because remember when I was like, wow, like that person's such a good friend. Like I've never seen somebody love like that.
Yeah.
I've never experienced a friendship like that.
But I was.
And now look where we are.
I know.
That was one of the first times that we all hung out because the first time, which is crazy to me, but the first time you and I ever actually hung out, like outside of work,
or was your birthday?
Was my birthday, which was only a few months before that.
Yeah.
That's insane because I feel like I've known you and you've been my best friend for my entire life.
And now I've met like my best friends. And
yeah.
I love it so much.
You're so cute. Yeah, I love you. I'm so lucky to have, our friendship.
I couldn't imagine. Like I look back on the times like before I met you guys, and I was like content, I guess. But then I think now like if I lost you guys, it'd be so
100%.
Like devastating to me.
Mm-hmm.
And then like how did I like live without you guys before? And like Maddy, you just came into the picture. For me.
Yeah.
And it feels like you've been here the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
it doesn't feel any different or like anything. Like you've been here this whole time.
Okay. I got this. We're fine.
It's so true though.
I'm okay.
I've had my friends I've known since basically, I guess, 7th grade and freshman year.
Yeah.
But I feel like the friendships that you, like, form as an adult, they're just different,
Mhm.
you know?
100%. Well, your frontal lobe has developed, and, like, I feel like you're a completely different person, and you need different things in a friendship. And, like, when you're younger, even though there are things that you probably would be like, I don't really like that person does this or did that, you kind of just put up with it because you don't really know any better. And then as you get older, you discover that you're allowed to set boundaries, and you're allowed to choose who you surround yourself with. And so it's really cool. And I feel very grateful for Bree too, because I met Bree when I was, you know, like a teenager in high school, and I'm not friends with literally anybody but her. And she came in senior year. Like, if she hadn't moved up to Washington her senior year of high school, I never would have met her, and that's insane.
Yeah, it's, I don't know, I just love us, and I love our friendship. And
it's great. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're fine. Like, I just can't imagine, like I said, like, my life without you guys, because I'm so, I don't know, it's just perfect.
I know. And we worked together at Ulta for like 4 years, and
we haven't even introduced.
I know. I was just thinking that.
Yeah.
We worked together at Ulta for like 4 years. This is Michelle.
Hello.
She is literally an icon. Like, so amazing, and I'm obsessed.
Hopefully you guys will get to learn more about, like, the crazy shit I've had.
No, listen.
No, because I was thinking that on my way here.
No, listen.
Yeah.
Because you met Hannah like one time at my birthday, but Michelle and I, you know, like every few months finally like nail down a date to go hang out with Hannah. And
we love Hannah.
Yeah, Hannah's the best. I love Hannah so much. But last time we went to Mole in Kendall Yards. It's so funny. We could see it from here.
Wait, really?
Oh, damn.
Yeah, because that's Kendall Yards right there.
Oh my
gosh.
Yeah,
it's so crazy.
I love Kendall Yards.
I do too. But we went to Mole, and we were all just talking, and we kind of just started like, you know how you just like joke about trauma, especially if it's like, you know, like parent trauma or like childhood trauma. But Michelle just kept going and telling stories, and
I'm
like
laughing.
Like Hannah and I were like holding hands, because I was like, that is some shit I've never heard in my like. That's so sad. And she's like, yeah, I wasn't like abused, and I was like, I don't know what else you would call that.
If you guys want an example, if I would get in trouble as a kid, my mom would like shave my head, but not like shave it fully. I mean, I'd probably have like 2 or 3 inches left, but they would shave the back because it was so short.
And then what would she say to you?
I was ugly, so you have to be ugly.
Oh.
But
or like,
and last time I'm talking about mom making me eat cereal out of the garbage, thinking like that's a lot.
Oh no, it is a lot.
Well,
don't downplay that. That's actually insane. Like, that's psychotic.
My mom used to buy these like cubes. Okay, I say cubes, and everybody's like, "What the fuck?" But like big cases of Diet Pepsi. Okay.
Yeah.
And I'd have one once in a while, but like we weren't really allowed to.
Yeah.
But I would, obviously.
They're in your house, but you're not allowed to have them.
Us.
Well, yeah, no, that's like snacks. Like snacks were.
Yeah.
Growing up, but anyway, one time somebody. I mean, I probably did contribute to a couple cans, but somebody had left out maybe like 10 cans of like half drink, 3/4 drink soda.
Maddy.
Yeah, and it's like been like a running joke in my family after this happened that like I can't finish a drink, which I will admit I probably did have a couple of those cans, but they were not all mine. So
yeah,
they had probably been out at least a week, okay? And my mom made me drink all of them.
That's so gross.
It was so bad, you guys. And to this day, I mean, I don't fuck with Diet Pepsi.
I am sure you don't.
It was like
so
thick,
terrible.
kind of.
That's ew.
Yeah, you know, like when it gets like flat and syrupy.
Yeah, and there's probably like little hairs that and like
bugs. It's the summertime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And your dead skin cells are just floating around everywhere.
And
that's so true.
Who knows whose sodas those were? That was the worst part. And like, whose are these?
Yeah.
My stepdad at the time was Ratchet, so
yeah. I just thought of your story with. Go on, though. Wait, Maddie was going to say something.
No, I was
I'm
going to
kinda scared to
say,
tell that story on
That's okay.
the internet.
That's
what
fair.
was it? It was a Mr. Good bar that you ate and just like threw up
I
in the
remember.
car. And like you
Oh.
still won't eat them to this day.
Because it was on our way from Georgia to Washington to join the cult. And
Fun.
oh my God, you know what's so funny about this? I remember this, like,
I'm surprised you were like allowed to have that, Mr. Good Bar.
No,
our parents were like weird. Like
they were.
like,
They went through
sometimes
phases.
They were very inconsistent. They would go through these phases where we were only allowed. Like, do you remember when Mom would let us have top ramen, but she wouldn't let us use the packet of seasoning in it because it had MSG? She went through this phase where we were allowed to
MSG was
have
the devil.
any MSG.
She also, I was telling Evan this the other day.
Food good.
The other day. I was telling this. No, MSG is really okay.
You know.
People think it's so fucking bad for you. It's really not as bad for you as like people, the extent that
Meth.
people think it is. No, literally.
People do math like
Yeah,
MSG.
our sister. But no, I was telling Evan this the other day. I was like, they went through phases. Like I remember, they wouldn't let us watch anything above a G-rated movie unless they had seen it. Like they wouldn't let us watch PG unless they had watched it first.
I remember that.
And then they just like threw that out the window, and I like
Yeah.
watched The Grudge when I was like 6.
Yeah, I
My
remember
period.
that.
My first scary movie was The Sixth Sense.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a good
I
one.
love
That's
that
I
movie.
remember watching that very young too.
Yeah.
Because I remember, sorry,
No, you're fine. Go.
I remember the part where the little girl is in the tent with him and she
Oh,
like
like
throws
throws
up.
up.
And she's like,
Uh-huh.
I'm feeling better. That part scared
That scared
me.
the shit out
I
of
don't
me.
know why, but that was so scary to me.
Yeah.
We weren't allowed. Okay, so my mom would call it like playing negative. Okay.
I already hate this. Go
Okay.
on.
So we weren't allowed to play negative. So like I wasn't allowed to have Bratz dolls because they were like sluts and negative.
Yep.
And that's probably why I am a Bratz doll now because I'm like I never
Honestly,
could have them.
Yeah.
like you are literally the epitome of a brat doll.
Yeah.
You're so beautiful.
Listen, we all went to the Barbie movie. Maddie wasn't here yet, but it was me,
It was
Taylor,
so-
and Bree.
Mhm.
I wish you were here.
And
we
they
would have
were,
had
like-
such a fun time.
I bet you I can find a picture. They wore like these cute like little pink outfits.
Yeah.
And I was
She
in
was
a
giving-
black corset.
She was giving brats. We were giving Barbie. It was so fun.
Do you remember when that movie came out? I want to show a photo.
2023.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was June. Actually, it was like early June 2023. I remember specifically because I have so many photos.
Is
from that
it,
day.
or was it
It
2024?
was 2023.
So anyway, what I was getting at is we weren't allowed to play negative, and like we would get in a lot of trouble if we did. So I couldn't have Bratz dolls. But one time I wrote like a ransom note for my baby doll, and I wrote like, "I've kidnapped your baby. Like you shouldn't have left it in the car, and like if
Cute.
you want your baby back, you have to come get it." And
Oh my god.
the amount of fucking trouble I got in for that because I was playing negative was crazy. And I'm like, okay, that's not even negative.
I love this photo of Brie.
It's so kind.
So cute.
fun.
Okay, so this is us at the Barbie movie. You can't really tell. But
Yeah.
Like, she's got pink. I'm in all black. Let me find a better
Oh,
photo.
here's one.
Yeah.
Oh,
do not
cute.
show that, please. That is so.
Oh my god, you're beautiful. Stop.
Okay, let me show you guys. So this is Taylor in her pink and perfect.
Oh, you're so cute.
Okay.
Oh.
That was
Period.
so fun.
This is Brie.
We need another themed movie, like
Okay.
outing.
Yeah.
And me.
Slay.
We did something like that for Kayla's birthday. We all dressed either in green or pink, and we went in Salt
And
Lake.
I was in black. And I
Yeah,
watched Wicked
that's
this
true.
morning when I was doing my makeup.
That was really fun.
But the
I
Tom
still
came out
haven't
for
seen
free.
it.
Everyone
Oh
was
yeah,
really
it came on what, today or yesterday?
It was great. Sorry, I want to go back to the Mr. Good bar thing.
Yeah.
Because that's why I wrote it down. I remember when that happened. So we had started. We were like, I don't remember where we were at, but I remember it was like middle of the country. So it was a good.
Well, yeah.
We were driving for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And we had stopped to get some snacks from a gas station and get some gas, obviously. And I obviously got the Mr. Good bar and threw it up. And
But why'd you throw up?
because I was car sick.
Yeah.
And then I had like this chocolate. It's got like chocolate and nuts and like stuff like that.
It's just chocolate and peanuts, I think.
Yeah.
They're pretty good.
They are, but they sound disgusting to me. So I threw it up, and then I remember my grandma was like, I heard this voice before we hit the road back in Georgia say to me, eat right, or if it's not there, eat light. And that was God talking to her and telling her
What
eat
the
healthy.
fuck? Okay, but I'm gonna live by
Fucking
that.
grandma, man.
Can you write that down and text it to me, please?
Yeah.
She also said.
My Nazi
She
grandma.
also said, Taylor, don't get too close to the TV.
Okay, I was telling Joe about this the other day. So I when I was a little kid, I had just gotten out of the shower.
The
and-
tub.
The tub.
The
I-
literal
I
tub.
had oh my.
It was an
no,
actual
No,
tub.
because this was back in Georgia
Oh, okay.
when they lived in the camper. So we did have a. Yeah, they lived in the camper. Oh yeah, you're gonna have to restart it.
Right here.
But anyways, so I had just gotten out
I feel
of.
like I look like a mom from the 90s.
You do kind of do, and it's a vibe. I'm obsessed.
I feel like I can't find like the right way to sit.
Same.
I'm always like that, and then like I'm constantly trying to like be in the view of the camera without having this be right in my face.
Ooh, I just
but you also have
hit
to
it with my-
be pretty close to the mic. You feel you kind
Should I be closer?
of a little bit.
Is that better?
Maybe a
yeah,
little.
Yeah,
A little better?
That's
so
better.
much better.
Okay,
Mhm.
cool.
But anyways, so I had just gotten out of the tub, and it's funny that you say tub because I don't really say tub anymore.
No, I was just actually calling it.
No, I know,
Yeah,
'cause
I don't
we-
say tub.
When we lived on the mountain, we bathed in a storage
Rubber,
latrine?
like a Rubbermaid,
a storage
like an actual like tub, like
they
that you
filled it
store
with
stuff
water.
with, because they only had a shower.
Yeah, and for a long time the water wasn't working, so they would boil water. Yeah, that's
We had to share bath water.
dude. That's actually crazy.
That's disgusting.
You guys are bonded with bathwater. Bathwater bonded.
No, when I think about it, because I'll be like, sometimes I'll talk funny like about how grew up in a cult, and I'm like, no, it was like a cult. Like that's really scary. But anyways, I had just gotten out of the bath, and so my hair was still wet, and I was like sitting in front of the TV. My grandma was watching like the news or something like that, and she goes, Taylor. Sorry, that was so loud. But she goes, Taylor, get away from the TV. I read a story about a little girl who got sucked into it because she had wet hair. So that's my grandma. Well, she's not alive anymore.
Well, no,
I was gonna
she's
say,
not.
Like, I don't picture you with grandma.
We don't have them
we don't
anymore.
have any. We don't
I
have
don't have
any
grandpas.
grandparents.
We don't have any grandparents anymore.
I have no grandpas, but my grandmas,
Yeah,
Thriving.
your grandmas
unfortunately.
suck.
Okay, my mom's mom is decent.
Mhm.
My dad's mom.
That's how ours were.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Our mom's mom was annoying, but
I loved her.
Cared about
She
us.
cared about us. She didn't care about mom.
No.
Or she didn't care about her kids. She cared about her
Her
grandkids.
That's my mom.
Yeah.
My mom doesn't care about her kids, but she likes one of her grandkids.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But our dad's mom was
Crazy
a
old
horrible
bitch.
human being. Like she
like-
was a bad person.
Yeah, she was a straight up like one of the worst people I've ever met.
When I remember she was watching us, like she was babysitting us one time. When we were young, when we were like kids. I don't know how old I was. Everything. I remember like a lot of random things from my childhood, but I don't remember like the time period. But she was babysitting us, and I remember she was like, "You're the worst grandchildren I've ever had."
Yep. She said she hated me and she called me a spoiled brat because I wanted cinnamon toast.
Yeah, I remember.
Oh, yeah.
I remember.
My grandma once told my mom, because my grandma lived out in the valley here and we lived on the north side. And quite literally, like, in between them is an orphanage. And my grandma's like, Lisa, why don't you just take her on the way home to the orphanage?
Oh my
And
god.
I'm sitting in the back seat, like,
Like, no, please.
no, but then she would, like, drive us there, like, to threaten us and be like, this could be your new home, this could be your new home. And I remember being little and, like, begging, like, God, please let me get put up for adoption. I wanted to.
That's so sad.
That's crazy.
Yeah, my mom, that's another episode. But
Mhm.
my
Well, I used to pray that mom and dad would get divorced.
No, yeah, I literally wish they would get divorced.
Yeah.
I think we all would have had much healthier
Yeah.
upbringings if they had, because
Well, here's the thing. We all would have went to live with dad.
yeah,
And she knew that.
there was a point in time where my mom did ask my dad for a divorce,
And he freaked out.
And well, yeah,
he freaked out or she freaked
oh,
out?
he freaked out. It was like really scary because yeah, it was a whole thing. But anyways, I remember my mom like sat me on the bed and she like had me on her lap. I was 16 also.
Ew, 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 ew.
God.
She had you on her lap. She had you on her lap. She had you on her lap.
What did you?
She had you on your lap, on her lap?
Yeah, she had me like sit on the bed and she was like holding me and like had me like on her lap. But anyways, she was like, I've asked your daddy for a divorce, and she goes, I understand that you might want to go live with him, but I just hope you'll reconsider. And she was like trying to guilt trip me into like go, and she did. Like I felt so guilty for wanting to live with my dad, but he was. What would have mom? She doesn't work.
She didn't have a. I don't know what she would have done, to be honest.
Probably live with one of her fucking other boyfriends.
In Sweden.
Oh, my mom had a boyfriend in. I want to say he said he was from California, but he was really like Nigerian.
Oh.
Catfish.
Wow.
Yeah. He was a guy named Smith, white guy with like a sick kid.
And a sick kid?
Yeah, so of course, you know, they have the sob story. That
yeah.
gives them the money.
I see what you mean.
And my mom's like a broke ass working, essentially like a receptionist for a medical office.
Yeah.
Medical assistant's what she called herself, but receptionist.
Yeah.
And I mean, we went to the lengths of going to look at houses so that we could all live together, and like, because they were gonna come live with us, and he had a son my age, and
Jesus,
blah blah blah. She fell for it, and come to find out, well, actually, I think the way that we figured it out is my sister and I,
of course,
Googled his name or something.
It's not hard,
and there were pages and pages and pages and pages of, oh yeah, he told me this was him, this was him, this was him. No, it was a catfish.
Yeah.
From Nigeria.
What's crazy is like wasn't a catfish.
Yeah, he wasn't. He actually came.
He came like 3 times to visit.
Like while your mom was married?
Yep. Yeah. 3 times.
Who did you say he was?
Her soulmate. Her soulmate. Her soulmate.
Her soulmate.
She called him her soulmate.
In front of your dad?
Yeah. She also said though. She said, "This is my dad reincarnated." And then she said, "This is my soulmate."
That's crazy. Yeah, my mom's insane.
Yeah.
But I was going to say, do you remember, you might not because you were very little, but do you remember when when our mom, it's weird because I'm talking to you.
I get
so
it.
It's
yeah.
mine, but anyways, she went through this phase where, I don't know, I guess on fucking some Republican website media shit, she found that people were wait, I thought of something else I wanted to talk about. She found that people were like, I can't even explain this, like, it's because it's so weird and it's so gross, but she like gathered all of like the kids and talked about how like people were like dying, and like she showed photos of like their poop and how it was like slimy, and then forced us to start taking these pills that would make it to where that didn't happen.
Well, she also forced us to drink Monavie.
Okay, so did you see me write that down?
What in the fuck is Monavie?
Okay, so Monavie Monavie was different because it's at least it's like juice. I don't know what kind of pills she was forcing us to.
But she wouldn't get us vaccinated, but she would have us take pills and shit.
So Monavie is a pyramid scheme, and my aunt got her like wrapped up in it, and so we would have like these tiny little.
Sorry to interrupt, but everyone in the cult was also part of it. John and Desiree were too.
I remember, because what are they gonna do? They don't work, so they're gonna have to fucking join a pyramid scheme. So Monavie was like this like health juice. It was like all fruit and stuff, and it had like antioxidants and blah blah blah, which basically was just palm.
Yeah,
like
they just poured palm in, like it was wine bottles.
It was like a wine bottle, but it was like
there was
juice.
A green one which was energy. There was a yellow one which was immunity.
That's crazy that you remember that.
Yeah, there was a red one. I don't remember what that one was.
And a purple.
And
what was purple?
I can't remember, but I remember the green and the yellow, and I liked the green the best. But Mom was like, "You don't need more energy. You need immunity."
I remember her saying that.
Yeah,
that's crazy. But you know what's crazy is I was thinking about it the other day. My choir teacher in middle school, who I loved, he was the best.
I love him. His last year was my 8th grade year, so he left after, and then Connor got some random lady.
That's really sad. Yeah, I loved Mr.
Yeah, he was
his
great.
wife got diagnosed with cancer. And my mom told me to go to him and tell him about Monavie. And so I did, and I was like 13, I think.
Because you don't know any better.
Exactly. So I did. And he was like, oh, thank you. She's not supposed to be on any like antibiotics or whatever. And I told my mom about it, and she was like, well, it's not an antibiotic. It's an antioxidant. She had me sales pitching to a man whose wife just got fucking diagnosed with cancer.
I remember they moved because they moved for her
to like or whatever, right?
somewhere. Yeah.
This from when you guys were in Colville?
Yeah. Oh my God, I didn't realize that she had you do that.
Yeah,
That's
isn't that
embarrassing.
so embarrassing and sad? Like, that actually makes me feel like shit.
Yeah. Sometimes I think about Miss my 4th grade teacher. I had 2.
I never had her, but I remember everybody talking about her.
In a bad way?
Just in general.
Oh, I loved her.
Yeah.
She was very nice. And I remember one time I like went to school and I had like a fever. And I went up to her and this is so random, but she like lifted up her sleeve and felt her arm on my forehead like this. And she was like, oh yeah, you do feel feverish.
Oh.
And like she told me like she was going to call mom or whatever. And I don't know why I was thinking about this the other day. This is random. This is not even part of like anything, but when we got home, I was like, yeah, she like felt my forehead like this. And mom was like, you can't tell a fever from that. I was like, what do you mean?
Why did she act
And she was like, you need to use the back of your hand. I was like,
this is
bitch.
We weren't even allowed to go home from school. We had to throw up at school twice to be able to go home from school.
I remember when I called mom to pick me up because one of my best friends had died.
Yep.
And we got told, actually, Mr. told me.
Yeah.
Well, told the class.
How'd she die?
It was crazy.
It was crazy. Her dad took her to the beach and killed her and then killed himself.
Yeah. I thought that was her stepdad.
Might have been.
And they had like a...
Yeah, that's what they said.
In Colville?
Yeah.
She was one of my absolute best friends.
Yeah.
Like,
what?
it was really
It was
sad.
crazy.
And we shared the same birthday.
I've never heard of it.
Yeah. So I found out that morning that she died, and I called my mom to come pick me up, and she goes, oh, Taylor, I'll be right there.
Oh, no, my mom would have never done that.
That's how she said it.
She would have been like, grow up.
It was insane. It was so sad.
Yeah.
I felt so guilty.
I know. That's insane.
I know.
I remember that whole situation.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah.
When it came to school with my mom, like, you do not, I mean, she was very strict about school. I had to get good grades. I wasn't allowed to get in any trouble. I've never been in trouble at school because I was so scared of her.
Yep.
We couldn't, like, leave if we threw up or anything.
Yeah.
We had to throw up twice. We couldn't do, she was crazy about school.
Yeah.
Our parents were very, again, inconsistent.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Like, sometimes we would be expected to have, like, straight A's and, like, you know, like, pristine attendance, and then other times they couldn't give a shit less.
Yeah.
And I remember which is funny, because Chelsea used to skip class all the time when she went to the high school, because she had bad anxiety and couldn't go to
She just, like, spent the whole day in the bathroom.
Yeah. So, I remember... I had never skipped a class. I had never, like, done anything bad. I never got in trouble at school. And I did pretty okay. Like, the only class that I didn't really, like, do well in was math. But my grades were usually really good. And so, I was in choir since, like, 6th grade. And in high school, we did this, like, district choir day.
Yeah.
That's what it was called. And so all the choirs from all of the schools, like the elementary school.
I remember that.
Yeah.
I did that too.
It was like really fun, and they would all come to the high school. We would take off like the first like 3 classes in the day, and like all just like do these exercises, and then we would do like a performance later on with all of the schools. And so I don't know, one of my classes, I guess, didn't get the memo that I wouldn't be in my class, and so they sent that automated like your student didn't
attend one or more classes.
Attend one or more classes. And later on, my dad freaked out, and he was like, we gotta call that, you didn't go to class today, I can't believe you would skip, and blah blah blah. And he was like so pissed off at me, and I was like, I was in it was a school activity. I was in the school, and he didn't believe me. It was crazy. I was like, I've never done anything wrong.
No.
Literally.
No.
They did that. I remember. So I was so quiet.
Yeah.
So quiet in school, and like, but they didn't do the roll call where they were like, they called your name and you said here. They just looked up to see.
Yeah.
So more than a few times they didn't see me, even though I was there, and they would put that I was absent, and then mom and dad would get a call saying I wasn't there. And mom would text me freaking out, and I'd be like, I am in class.
That's crazy that she would text you.
Yeah. Well, I had my phone. It was like freshman year, so I had a phone.
That's crazy.
But I was thinking, speaking of dad. This is so funny.
I just heard every bit of spit in your mouth go down your throat.
I'm so sorry. Okay, I was thinking about this the other day. I don't know if I've ever told you this, but this is so funny.
Oh God, I'm scared.
So when you were dating your first boyfriend,
Yeah.
I remember
Wait, do I know this one?
His name's
yeah.
but
So I was over at your apartment one time, and this is when you lived in Birch Creek, and like. I was like in the kitchen area, and he jokingly like opened the fridge and was like, "You want a beer?" Because he had like beers in the fridge. Yeah, he had like alcohol in the fridge, and he like asked me. I was like 15, I think.
when did he have beers in the fridge?
Yeah, I don't know. He was like, "Do you want a beer?" I remember this, and so I like told Chelsea, I was like, I don't know, I thought it was weird, and like, I guess she told mom, and mom told dad.
Oh God.
And I'm doing the dishes.
Oh my God.
I'm doing the dishes, and dad goes,
Oh, I remember. You did tell me this. You did tell me this. Oh my God.
he goes, "Hey, I'm proud of you."
First of all, if you were gonna drink anything, it would not be beer.
I'm proud of you.
That's so embarrassing. That's so embarrassing.
Yeah,
and it actually pisses me off when I think about that time period because, like, their oldest daughter was doing so much worse.
I know.
And like, I just had friends.
You were of
hung
age.
out
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Cyrus was like 20 maybe.
Yeah, and we hung out. Like, my friends came over, we hung out all the time, and I also started smoking weed that year. And they treated me like I was like such a disappointment in the family, and it was so fucking like.
Mom
like,
freaked out when she found out that you smoked weed.
It's so crazy.
It's crazy.
It's like, of all of the things, like your daughter probably has done.
Yeah.
Like probably, what's it called?
Oh God.
I don't know what she's done.
We don't know.
She's also been in jail.
She's currently in jail.
She's
currently.
I know that was so loud. So loud.
Oops. You can see it on my. Oops. She's literally in jail as we speak.
She is, but it's crazy because it's like, well, and I talked to my therapist about it multiple times where it's like, they just like, the reason they feel so like disappointed, or I guess, I don't know, they just put so much pressure on like you and me, for instance, because.
Probably because they know they can.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And it's like, I don't know. And my mom like continues to have such a soft spot in her heart for because like she knows that like she's better than
yeah.
Even though I don't know if I would say that, but
my mom, I can tell you right now, has never had a soft spot for me. I mean, I
Yeah.
can be going
Mhm.
through the worst of the worst. When I met Taylor, actually, my relationship.
it was a rough year.
Was
A rough couple years.
honestly probably the worst years of my life. I'm not, well, other than my childhood, but like in my adult years.
Mm-hmm.
And she literally never was there for me once. I mean, she swears to God she was, but she wasn't. And apparently she told my little sister, she's like, oh, well, she just does it to herself. She's never going to learn. Like, it's her fault. It's her fault. But I'm like, okay, how old was I? 20? 21?
Yeah, we were around 20. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
21,
yeah. And I don't know. She just, well, she'll never learn. She'll never learn. And it's like, okay, well, you never taught me anything either. I mean, you brought around so many random men. There was always somebody different. You let people treat you like shit. You let them treat us like shit.
Yes, exactly.
It's like, cool. So what example do I have to lead by?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And the thing is, it's like with all the shit that we've been through, like all three of us, growing up, I'd say we turned out pretty fucking.
Yeah.
I see that all the time. Like my sister and I, and well, my brothers have their struggles too, but for the most part, like my sister and I really turned out normal, and I feel like for what I went through as a kid, I feel like I turned out as like a good person.
Yeah.
Girl, you're literally one of the best people I know.
'Cause-
Like, you're so kind. You're so, like, non-judgmental, understanding.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love everybody. I would literally do anything for
Yeah.
anybody, and my mom is like the complete opposite.
Mhm.
And like, how did I turn out
Yeah.
this way? I
Yeah,
think like that
exactly.
sometimes, and I'm like, am I that way? You know,
Yeah.
Like, you know.
Like, Alejandra was asking, or was talking about that the other day. She was like, I genuinely don't know how you, like, came out of a cult, like,
Yeah.
as, like, progressive and, like, kind as you are, you know, and,
Yeah.
like, non-judgmental. Because I'm really not. Like,
Sometimes in my head, I like, okay, I'm not judgmental to the point like where I like wouldn't like associate myself with somebody
Yeah.
like because of something they do, but like sometimes I like catch myself thinking
oh,
like
girl.
horrible
Yes.
things about people.
Oh yeah,
And then-
same.
And then
people
I
deserve
feel,
that.
but then I feel guilty, so I'm like, okay, I'm fine.
Mhm.
Like, as long as I have.
As long as I know this is
Yeah,
wrong.
right.
Exactly. I
Oh my god, not like a trauma episode.
No, it literally is.
I'm trying not to get too crazy because I get carried away.
This is what I was going to ask about. Do you remember, because I don't know when we would have gone to this person's house, and I don't remember, like, I don't remember what year it was.
Desiree?
No, I remember, like, it had to be, what?
Was this when we watched Megamind?
I literally,
Okay. Okay.
I wrote that one family's house Megamind.
Yes! Yeah, oh my god, I'm so
How
loud.
did you figure that out?
Okay.
Now I need to know what happened.
Okay, so it was this, I don't remember their names.
I
It was a
don't either.
family.
Was
They were part of the Montague.
Yeah, okay, it was Montague, that's right.
Okay, I'm gonna look that up really quick because I need to know.
Yeah,
It's
so-
Monavie.
M-O-N.
I thought it was VE.
I think it's VIE.
Okay.
Multi-level marketing company that manufactured and distributed fruit juices, concentrates, powders, and purees.
Yes. Oh, they've expanded. No, I don't know their names. They had kids,
Was it,
and
like,
yep.
Jessica. It looks
my
it looks way
God.
different now.
I
than
was thinking it
used
was
to.
gonna be like a smoothie of some sort.
No, it's just in a bottle.
It's just juice.
And it's like the juice is like purple.
Enjoy
Yeah,
10%
and
off
thick.
your order with code ACTIVE10.
Honestly,
Well,
I think I would enjoy it now
Maybe.
I'm like
Because-
thinking about it. I'm like,
because it's like fruit juice.
Yeah.
Which is because basically what they did was mashed up a bunch of like fruits that are rich in antioxidants and then called it like a fucking like miracle.
Yeah,
drink.
solution. I don't remember their names. I just remember they had kids. They had like boys, and we were at their house, and they had a little playroom ish type
Do you
thing
remember that?
down the hallway, and Connor was in there. Connor was like playing in the playroom, and then we watched Megamind, and they had surround sound. And when the dude who was like, "I love you, Metro Man," and all of us thought there was some guy outside the window.
Yes, that's so funny that we remember that exactly the same way.
Yeah.
I also remember, I think it was this family, her son liked Chelsea
And wanted to-
and he said, he told my parents, I'd like to pursue
Pursue.
her,
I want to pursue your daughter.
which is crazy. But what I was going to say.
what were their names? Do you remember?
I
We
can't
don't
remember.
But what I was going to say was, did we get connected with them through the arc?
I feel like it was both. I think it was the Ark and Montague, but mostly Montague. Maybe.
Yeah. And like knew everybody in that type of like vibe, you know what I mean?
I'm so sorry.
Because they went to Toastmasters.
Toastmasters.
What the fuck is that?
Toastmasters is like
It's when you make toast.
It's giving Even Stevens, like how the sister works at the toast restaurant.
it's like basically they teach you like manners and stuff.
Yeah.
Like that. Yeah.
How to be a lady.
It's kind of like, it's just like, you know, like cotillion, like stuck up, like you know, like vibe.
That's why Aunt is so much of a lady, and she's always like la di da, and she walks around. I remember she would just like fart and she would sing over it.
Oh my god.
That's really funny.
Yeah, it was really funny.
That's really funny.
No, I really have a hard time farting.
Okay, same. And this is crazy because I remember there was like this reel, and I don't remember if I talked about
You
this
did.
before, but there's this girl that was like talking about how someone, I don't know, somebody farted or whatever, and like it was like a group of people, and they were like all blaming this one girl, and she goes, "No, I don't fart. I swear to God, I don't fart." And then the one who's like recording the video, she's like, and I felt bad for her because like I get it because I genuinely don't fart, and so I pulled her to the side, and I was like, "No, girl, like I get it, like I don't fart either." And she goes, I fart. I just didn't want to admit that it was me. And she made her feel stupid for saying she never farts.
Okay, but how do you never fart?
No, but it is,
would be
it's
so
not healthy.
Sometimes it is hard
Sometimes,
for me.
yeah.
I would,
So
yeah,
I
I get it. Like sometimes I'm like, what the fuck can I do to fart right now? So
Yeah.
I can feel skinny.
I not to change the subject so drastically, but I did write another thing down that I wanted to talk about because I don't remember if I ever told you this, but you remember?
I'm scared.
So this is when I lived with. We'll believe that.
She who must not be named.
Yeah, no, Voldemort.
She has short hair and had braces.
And
moved to Florida with some random man and had a baby with him.
Yeah.
Which we still.
I know. I would love to see that baby.
I want to see that
I bet
baby.
it's ugly as fuck.
Honestly, because
Me, I'm not judgmental.
the baby's probably so ugly.
No, but she's a bitch, so it's fine. So this is when I was living with her, and you know how I was like obsessed with this guy for the longest time.
Did this start with it?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, and so.
Wait, do I know this story?
I think I told you this.
Okay, go ahead.
So she had ended up matching with him like jokingly on like Hinge, like it was like a little thing we both did, like we knew about it or whatever. And but she continued to talk to him, and there was like one point where like they were like Snapchatting and she was talking to him, and she was like talking me up or whatever because like he realized that we were roommates, and I was like, oh, can I see the messages? And she like didn't want to show me. And I was like, can I see the messages? Because I was like obsessed with this guy, you know. But she ended up giving me, I think, so she ended up giving me her phone, and I was reading it.
I can't believe she actually did it.
I know, that's crazy.
I know. So, but I think because she knew, she was like, if I don't show her this, like, it's probably gonna be worse.
Yeah.
So she did so many fucked up things, and this is why, like, when I start to feel guilty about like not being friends with her anymore, I'm like, no, she was a shitty person. Well, that's
the thing is, why do you feel guilty? She literally stopped talking to us.
She was,
It's
yeah.
true. That's true. So, anyways, I looked at her phone and I was going through the messages, and she was like, oh, is that right, sir? And like was like super flirty with him, and I
hated how she would say sir.
So yeah, because I've always said sir. Like I say like yes sir and yes ma'am, and I say sir all the time.
Yeah.
And
but the way she did it was just ugly.
Because she picked that up from me, just like she did the fucking southern accent.
The southern accent.
Started dating.
This is my fertility tape.
She's like, you know, I'm gonna name my moss ball after Leslie Jordan because I love Leslie Jordan.
And
first
he's
of all, you didn't
gay.
know who Leslie Jordan was until I fucking told you.
Yeah,
he died, and that's why I was talking about him, because I was like, I love Leslie Jordan who died, which was really sad.
Yeah, she's like, he's
she
gay.
Doesn't know him because he's a fucking icon in the gay community.
Yeah.
Anyways,
I loved him in American Horror Story.
I didn't see that season, but so. But another time, so she did that, which I thought was really fucked up, and I remember telling you and Brie about it, and Brie was like, "What?" And she got like super mad. And then another time, this is when she was dating. We went to the bar or whatever.
I know where this is going.
we were out for New Year's Eve, and I had been put in a bad mood because I was
sorry if you guys can hear my like.
It's fine. It's literally fine. But what's the best sound ever? Anyways, so we were out for New Year's Eve, and I had been talking to that guy earlier in the day, and like we had like planned to hang out later on, and then
same guy, right?
Yeah, and then go figure, he canceled on me because that's what he did. So So I was annoyed because I was like, okay, well, we're gonna hang out, but it's fine. And then we were like at the bar, and it had just turned midnight, and so everybody was like, ah, and she had picked up these two fucking dorks, like that were just walking around in there.
Hey, were they worse than the guys that we ended up with when we were with?
When we were with who?
Do you remember?
They weren't worse. They were like like a nice kind of dorks, but they were also kind of annoying. But they weren't scary. Like those two were scary.
That brings up a point I need to bring up. Go finish.
Okay, let me write down here so you can.
Thank you.
It's not a crazy name.
Yeah.
And he was giving. I have to say.
Anyways, so it just turned midnight. Eventually these two kids just like, I say kids because they like were so tiny. Like they just like walked away.
Kids.
They like walked away or whatever. And then she started talking to this bouncer dude who later on randomly stopped texting her for a few months. And then a few months later was like, sorry, I was in jail.
Doesn't surprise me.
So she's talking to this bouncer guy. And then like this like other dude was just like talking to me. And he was like really funny. And we were just like talking or whatever. And he was like, oh, I like your tattoo. And I was like, oh, thanks. And I was like, I started like talking about it. And she was like, honey, you don't have tattoos. And he was like,
mind you, she has like the typical white girl tattoo that's like
literally,
flowers.
Yeah.
Literally the most typical shit ever. And yeah, so that's the type of person she was.
There was also a time I remember this would happen when she was around guys mainly.
She was such a pick-me.
Okay.
Like she was the most pick-me girl ever.
Let me just preface by saying the men we were with were either married, in a relationship.
Oh, are you talking about?
Or just not somebody that maybe like I would want to impress. I don't know, but
exactly.
I had just bought in my car at that point, and I thought, okay, I'm not like bragging because I don't even have it anymore. I sold it, but it was 2023 Civic, and I was just like really happy and like proud of myself and excited that I was able to buy that. And I was not being a pick-me, okay? Let me just say that. I was just like, I think I was even telling Taylor. It was somebody. I wasn't even talking to the guys.
And it wasn't even, like, she wasn't in a really bragging way. She was like, I love my car. Like, it's so cute. And I'm, like, so proud of it. And she was just basically, like, talking about how she's proud of herself for getting something that she's wanted for a long time.
Exactly, yes. Yeah. And then goes something to the effect of, like, I would never pay that much for a brand new car. I'm like, okay, well, let's go over what you drive. Yeah. A 2012 Jeep. Yeah. That you paid way fucking more for.
And it's like a custom color.
Exactly. It was hideous color. Yeah. But she, of course, she just says it in front of the guys to be like, oh, I would never do that.
Yeah.
Also.
All right, let's go get my Jeep, guys.
Yeah, I'm a Jeep girl.
Also, we were, the whole Jeep thing, I could go into so much detail about how much she pissed me off with the fucking Jeep. But anyways, we were also all like taking like a group photo, and was like the one that was hated so much because he clocked her vibe immediately.
Yeah,
but
he did.
He like had his hand out, and we were all like at like a long table, and so we were like taking like a photo that way or whatever. Yeah. And he was trying to get everybody, so everybody's kind of like adjusting, and she goes, oh my god, and she snatches his phone out of his hand and like hands it to some bartender or whatever, and like asks them to take a picture of us. And Josh was like,
she was so cringe.
She was
not
so
even
cringe.
funny.
I was also gonna say, just really quick, who is that, Mom? Yeah. What'd she say?
I don't know. She sent a photo
in the group chat. So, anyways, just last thing about her. So, yeah, because she drove a Jeep, she also had this whole like I'm a Jeep girl mentality. And so like anytime we would pass someone on the road, she would go like she would do the little like hand thing and like nod her head if they were in a Jeep. And I was like, one time I just like scoffed, and she was like, it's a Jeep thing. And I wanted to toss her out the window. I was like, you're so embarrassing.
She did some cringe shit. And then I remember our boyfriend helped her like paint her wheels or something. I can't remember exact.
Yeah, I remember.
I just don't know.
I remember this.
Oh, I've heard.
I've heard.
And I've heard many things about.
I remember we were like, I was at their house for something, and we were like, she had Christmas gifts or something, and she goes, oh, that's for.
Oh, I remember.
It was so weird. I was like, you got Calvin a Christmas present? And she's like, well, yeah, he helped me with my Jeep. Of course I did.
It was so strange.
It was so fucking weird.
She's just such a fucking pick-me.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say about?
Okay, I need to know if this is a universal experience because these men, I would never even consider. Mm-hmm. I would never think about. I would actually be offended if they tried to date me. But I'm embarrassed to even say this. Okay. That night, I think we lost our other friend.
Yeah,
and something happened.
So we were out with.
Yeah, But one of the guys ended up adding Taylor on Facebook.
That's right.
And jealous is not the right word, okay? I was not jealous. I wouldn't want to be friends with him on Facebook. Had he added me, I wouldn't have accepted.
Yeah, I deleted
But
it.
I was annoyed because I was like,
why you?
Yeah, like, why not me?
I think,
you know?
I think because he clocked the idea that I was probably, I think it's because you were so far out of his league, he didn't even attempt. Like, I genuinely think that's what it was.
I don't know, because I was like, not jealous. That's the wrong word. But I was like, cool. So I can't even get someone like that. But was in like the same relationship for like 8 years. Yeah. But you know, it's still like you have those thoughts.
Yeah.
Like, why can't I even get this fucking freak?
I'm gonna tell you right now, that's not the case.
I don't know, man.
It's not the case.
I grew up an ugly duckling. That's where this all comes from.
We all did. That's why we're hot and funny now.
It's true. Braces like changed my life.
You know what Angel said forever ago that is like the most iconic line ever. She was like, somebody said she was really funny, and she was like, thanks, I used to be fat when I was a kid, and so I got really funny, and then I got hot, and that's how I became the perfect person.
Oh my god, that's perfect.
Which is such an Angel thing to say.
Yeah, so if this gets published, I need to know if other people have had that experience.
Yeah.
Somebody you wouldn't even think twice about, but if they don't pursue you,
you're
like,
I feel.
Why?
I know exactly what you mean, because like I feel that, and I have felt that before.
Yeah.
Like, when you're
it's such a weird feeling.
Almost like disgusted by someone, but you're like, but why don't they want me?
Exactly. Like, if I'm disgusted by you, you should want me more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there should be no question. If I think you're disgusting, like, you should be begging for me.
Yeah, but I don't think that's I think that it's just insecurity.
Yeah. Sorry.
So loud.
I'm so sorry.
She's like,
I'm trying to finish this.
I know. I can't believe I actually finished mine.
I know.
So good.
and we're coming up to the last 10 minutes. Isn't that crazy?
I know.
Are we getting lunch after this?
I'm so down.
Please.
I'm so hungry. You know where we should go? There's that little place across the street that has like sandwiches and bagels and salads and soups. No.
Oh.
It's like right across the street.
Oh.
We can go wherever.
I'm down forever. I just want to go somewhere like not super like sit down ish.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going on a hike after this.
Oh, where are you going?
I don't know. I'm going with my coworker because I gotta lose.
Sorry.
Okay, well I want to lose 20 pounds by May 18th.
First of all, I just noticed your nails and they look beautiful.
Yeah, they're
They're
super
my natural
cute.
nails.
Love.
And Peyton's so great.
Mm-hmm.
Hash out.
Hash out. Done by. Hash out.
What am I trying to say?
Hashtag.
Shout out.
Shout out.
Shout out.
Shout out to
Done by Pate, and that's Payt.
Yeah.
Payt. I'm just kidding. I always spell his name wrong. He corrects me every time.
Yeah, he's the cutest. I love him so much. We need to go to Salon Center to pick up my order because I was going to go yesterday.
Yeah, we do
when
need to
I
go.
drove by, I noticed that it wasn't people that I wanted to see. And
well, yeah,
because
because
so.
Peyton works Tuesday through Wednesday.
Tuesday through Wednesday?
Yes, so I believe.
Tuesday and Wednesday?
Tuesday through Thursday.
Okay.
I meant Tuesday through Thursday. And then I know Morgan is at the Valley on Fridays, so that's why I was gonna tell you could have done that.
Yeah.
Plus, I need to get those sweaters from her.
Yeah, I thought you said the Spokane store.
She said she was gonna drop them off, but I was like, well, I mean, I could just text her.
You know, actually, going back to what you just said about how you were like, I don't want this person to like. Well, this isn't exactly the same thing, but it's like I felt a little offended that she offered the sweaters to you because I was like,
listen, no,
I've known Morgan for like 2 days, and I love Morgan, and I
love her too.
Why she gave them to you and not me?
No, I want to tell you because I had a feeling you would feel that way. Here's the thing. I think it's because
about sweaters one time.
Well, no, I think it's I was gonna say you can have one of them. You can have the little.
It's okay. Go on.
No, I think it's because every time I would work with her, I would be wearing like a sweater like that, and I think she just like noticed my style and my vibe, and she was when she was getting rid of stuff because she posted a lot of stuff on Depop, and she was like, she probably just thought of me.
Yeah, that's fair.
With the sweaters, because they're very me sweaters.
They are very your sweaters. I agree with that.
Yeah, especially the first one.
They're really cute.
I want to see.
One.
Do you have a picture?
Yeah, this is the first one.
That is so you.
I know, and then the second one.
I did get Maddie her favorite sweater for Christmas. Just saying.
You.
One of them.
Yes, one of them.
You wear it a lot.
I do wear it a lot. I have a favorite sweater.
What's your favorite sweater?
It's it's up there. That one's up there. But the favorite sweater I have is one that I got from Finboy. It's not the first one I got from Finboy, but it's another one, and it's like it just fits. No, it fits me perfectly. It's like green.
A green, yeah.
Yeah,
is
greenish.
Is that the one that you put in your like portrait thing, or is that the one? Is that the one I got you?
The one in my portrait thing is not that. Okay, that is one of my favorite ones, the yellow one.
No,
but
isn't it like green?
It's yellow. No, it's yellow with
cartoonish portrait.
It's yellow with blue stripes.
Maybe it's the background that's green. Also, we need to take pictures for our Instagram.
Yeah, I put.
Yes, please. I want somebody to take them on this Canon for me.
Oh,
yeah.
See, it looks green to me.
Let me see.
Greenish.
I guess it kind of is.
Yeah.
I should have brought my other. I keep whistling.
Is this a good camera?
It is a good camera, but I do have another one that's better, and I just didn't bring it today.
Can we get your opinion on some of these
logo
logos?
ideas? Okay, listen.
Yeah, does somebody actually want to take some photos of me today?
Because I like this one.
Oh, that one's cute. I don't know what it is. It feels. I think I need it to feel a little more personalized.
Let me see.
I think it feels a little too.
I like it, but I think you could do better.
Yes, that's what I mean. And
okay.
I'm not sold on any of these that I've made.
I thought it was going to be Beyond the Red Room.
No, we changed the name.
So we did change the name. I thought I talked to you about that. Oh, you weren't on the video chat. You had left.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
We did change the name because we liked Beyond the Red Room for many reasons, but we both felt like it wasn't exactly what we wanted, and so we changed it to This Explains a Lot.
Yeah.
And that
I think that's perfect.
I think it is perfect because I think it caters to a lot of different subjects.
Yeah.
And we do talk about a lot of different subjects. We talk about trauma. We talk about funny things. Like we talk about pop culture. And I think that it's more broad and kind of encapsulates, like this explains who we are and why we are the way we are.
That's how I take it too.
Yeah. But also in the way that it's like this explains like what we're saying. You know what I mean? Like we're explaining a lot. Is what I mean. This one's kind of basic. But I think it's kind of cute.
I don't want to do that one just because it's very
like
Patagonia.
I like this one.
That looks more Patagonia to
me.
I
don't like that one.
Okay,
it's kind
that's
of giving
fine.
Burger King. I don't know.
Yeah.
I like something like this.
I love that.
I don't like the exact thing.
Yeah,
I
like the idea of
I
that
like the
one.
idea of that too.
I really like this one.
That one's good, but it reminds me of something, and I don't know what it is.
And
like
then
the Polaroid or something.
I
do like that. Yeah.
So
I don't like that one.
Okay, that's fine. This one's okay.
I don't like that. I don't like that.
And then I have two. Yeah, I have two more. So this one, which I kind of like a lot. Maddie doesn't like it at all.
I don't like that one.
Which is sad.
It's not my favorite. I like the TV cute. One the best.
Yeah.
And then this is the last one, which I think we're getting closer with this.
Yeah.
That one, it's getting there. I don't like the font. I think I don't like the font, and I'm not a big fan of that little background thing.
Okay.
I don't. We know it wasn't that one. I don't like this background. I don't like how it's like. I don't know. I don't
splotchy?
Like. Yeah, I don't. I'm not a big fan of that.
That's fair.
It's funny that you said that these colors were too muted, because I was like, that's as bright as I'm willing to go in my head.
I don't even. I think muted isn't what I was looking for. I think it's too.
The breathing.
I was just so concentrated.
No, but what is the word? I was like.
Who did that? Who did that?
That was me.
Come on, on, spit it out.
No, it's almost like puke green. You know, it's not.
Oh
it's
yeah,
not
no,
like
I
the green
can.
that I'm
Yeah,
gonna want
no,
to.
yeah,
Like, I like pastels, and those are kind of muted. You know what I mean?
yeah.
But we also are kind of wanting to go 70s colors.
Right.
Can you show the
It's
ones
very
that you've done?
70s.
Well, I did. I showed. So these were kind of. It wasn't all this same vibe. I tried to go with a few different vibes. So I did the one I just showed you. I did this one, which is like, it's okay.
I like that.
Yeah, that's cute.
And then I did it with like over the circle.
I like that too.
That's cute too.
And then another
The
one
colorful-
kind of like
the colorful. Just it reminds me of like Patagonia.
Yeah.
What's that other one?
There's Polaroid.
that was the
Polaroid.
one that the
No,
black.
It's not Polaroid. I'm thinking of something else. They make like the. It's on the tip of my tongue. I can't think of it right now, but
Yeah. Is it like a outdoorsy thing?
yes.
Yeah. I
Mhm.
know what you're talking about, but I don't know what it is.
It makes like it's like a specific kind of checkered, or not checkered, but it's like a design.
I don't know.
I also made this one.
I like these a lot.
Okay, these ones?
Yes.
Okay,
I like these
because
a lot.
they're not. I would add more to them probably,
Mm-hmm.
but there's this one.
Oh, that one's so cute.
I know.
Yeah,
I
and
like
then
that a
I
lot.
did this one with the leaves.
Which
I
is
love
funny
those.
because you were like, those were the ones that you didn't show me originally, and you were like, I made these too, but I don't know if you like. I'm not
Yeah.
sure if I'd like them, but those are my favorites. out of
Okay,
the ones
because
you've
I
done.
do like these ones a lot.
I do too.
And then this one was just a basic ass one that I was
Yeah.
like, we could
Yeah.
if it like comes down to it,
Yeah.
like if we just need something for the profile picture,
I
we
like
can
that
use
too.
this one.
I like very simple.
What I like about the other ones,
Mhm.
these two, what I want to do is something like this. You know, obviously make like the logo, the icon, and then we could have like a distinguished icon in it, like the mushroom or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and use that even
Yeah.
that like. You know, for like tiny little things. Like, I don't even know how to explain what I'm trying to say, but
Is that my phone?
yeah.
Yeah.
What the fuck? I don't know what that sound is. I've never heard that before.
I don't know, but I am excited about the name. I'm excited
Me too.
to continue testing out new logos.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we should, take some photos and like use them for Instagram.
Yeah, because I do want like to put. I want like a picture of us to put like this explains a lot over.
Me too.
But
And-
yeah.
Well, and also what I wanted to do was make some like thumbnail pictures that we can
Mhm.
put like the name of the
Yeah.
episode on the reel.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
I don't know. But this was fun. I'm
So
really
fun.
glad that you
Yeah, no.
joined.
Me too. Thank you for
Yeah,
having me.
this
Has
was
I been the
great.
first guest?
Yes.
You have. This is technically our 4th episode. I haven't
We need
edited the last
anything.
2.
2 or 3. Yeah, we need to get on that.
Yeah,
We've been sick.
We've been sick. We've been tired.
Busy.
We've both been working a lot.
I've had a lot of schoolwork.
I feel like, even though I haven't worked at Salon Centric the last couple of weeks or weekends,
been
I've still
busier.
been busy.
Yeah.
You get busier because you have more time.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Happens every
So,
time.
this next week, I'm gonna really like try and edit as much as I can. But I really enjoyed this. This was probably my
This is
favorite
so
one so far.
fun.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
first one, I think it was my other favorite.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because we talked about not making the first one an actual episode.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, but I kind of liked the
You
first one.
should.
I
Yeah.
think we were more unhinged. I think we went into our lore a little bit. It
Mhm.
was great.
Yeah.
Well,
I
thank
need
you
to,
for
oh my god,
having
look at my
me.
phone.
Yeah, your phone needs a facelift.
I need a new one altogether actually, but it's
You
Period.
really do. I feel bad. If only you could take that one.
No, literally.
All right, guys.
Thank you.
That was episode 4 concluded.
That was so fun.
So fun. We'll see you next time.
Bye. Oh my god. And then next we can have like Brie